Good morning. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Bible Study, the Soli Deo Gloria Bible Study, coming to you on this Thursday morning, July the 9th, 2026. I hope everyone is doing well as we're getting closer to the end of the week and looking forward to the reading of God's Word as we continue reading from the reading plan as it happened, a one-year chronological walk through the Bible, and also reading from Daily Doctrine, a one-year guide to systematic theology. This morning we'll be in the book of Isaiah, chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. So join me as we read God's word together. Isaiah chapter 5. Let me sing now for my well-beloved, a song of my beloved concerning his vineyard. My well-beloved had a vineyard on a fertile hill. He dug it all around, removed its stones, and planted it with the choicest vine. And he built a tower in the middle of it, and also hewed out a wine vat in it. Then he hoped for it to produce good grapes, but produced only worthless ones. So now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, please judge between me and my vineyard. What more was there to do for my vineyard than I have not done in it? Why, when I hoped for it to produce good grapes, did it produce worthless ones? So now, let me tell you what I'm going to do to my vineyard. I will remove its hedge, and it will be consumed. I will break down its wall, and it will become trampled ground. I will lay it waste. It will not be pruned or hoed, but briars and thorns will come up. I will also command the clouds to rain no rain on it. For the vineyard of Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his delightful plant. Thus he hoped for justice, but behold, bloodshed, for righteousness, but behold, a cry of distress. Woe to those who add house to house and join field to field, until there is no more room, so that you have to live alone in the midst of the land. In my ears Yahweh of hosts has sworn, surely many houses shall become desolate, even great and good ones without inhabitants. For 10 acres of vineyard will yield only one bath of wine, and a homer of seed will yield but an ephah of grain. Woe to those who rise early in the morning, that they may pursue strong drink, who stay up late in the evening, that wine may inflame them. And their banquets are accompanied by lyre and harp, by tambourine and flute, and by wine. But they do not look upon the deeds of Yahweh, nor do they see the work of his hands. Therefore my people go into exile for their lack of knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude is parched with thirst. Therefore Sheol has enlarged its throat and opened its mouth without limit, and Jerusalem's majesty, her multitude, her rumbling, and the exultant within her descend into it. So the common man will be bowed down, and the man of importance will be made low. The eyes of the lofty also will be made low. But Yahweh of hosts will be lofty in judgment, and the holy God will show himself holy in righteousness. Then the lambs will graze as in their pasture, and sojourners will eat in the waste places of the wealthy. Woe to those who drag iniquity with the cords of worthlessness, and sin as if with cart ropes. Who say, let him hurry, let him hasten his work, that we may see it. And let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw near and come to pass, that we may know it. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who substitute darkness for light and light for darkness, who substitute bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and understanding in their own sight. Woe to those who are mighty men in drinking wine and valiant men in mixing strong drink, who declare the wicked righteous for a bribe and remove the righteous standing of the ones who are righteous. Therefore, as a tongue of fire consumes stubble and dry grass collapses into the flame, so their root will become like rot and their blossom blow away as dust. For they have rejected the law of Yahweh of hosts, and the word of the Holy One of Israel they have spurned. On this account, the anger of Yahweh is burned against his people, and he has stretched out his hand against them and struck them down. And the mountains trembled, and their corpses lay like refuse in the middle of the streets. For all this his anger is not turned back, but his hand is still stretched out. He will also lift up a standard to the distant nations, and will whistle for it from the ends of the earth. And behold, it will come with speed swiftly. No one in it is weary or stumbles. None slumbers or sleeps. Nor is a belt at its waist undone, nor its sandal strap broken. Its arrows are sharp, and all its bows are bent. The hoofs of the horses seem like flint, and its chariots' wheels like a whirlwind. Its roaring is like a lioness, and it roars like young lions. It growls and seizes the prey and carries it off with no one to deliver it. It will growl over it in the day like the roaring of the sea. If one looks to the land, behold, there is darkness and distress. Even the light is darkened by its clouds. Isaiah chapter 6. In the year of King Uzziah's death, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, with the train of his robe filling the temple. Seraphim stood above him, each having 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, and with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. And one called out to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is Yahweh of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the foundations of the threshold shook at the voice of him who called out, while the house of God was filling with smoke. Then I said, Woe is me, for I am ruined, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, Yahweh of hosts. Then one of the seraphim flew to me with a burning coal in his hand, which he had taken from the altar with tongs. And he touched my mouth with it and said, Behold, this has touched your lips, and your iniquity is taken away, and your sin is atoned for. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then I said, Here am I, send me. He said, Go and tell this people. Keep on hearing, but do not understand. Keep on seeing, but do not know. Render the hearts of this people insensitive, their ears dull and their eyes dim, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their hearts and return and be healed. Then I said, Lord, how long? And he said, Until cities are devastated and without inhabitant, houses are without people, and the land is devastated to desolation. And Yahweh has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many in the midst of the land. Yet there will be a 10th portion to it, and it will again be subject to burning, like a terebinth or like an oak, whose stump remains when it is felled. The holy seed is its stump. Isaiah chapter 7. Now it happened in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that Rezin, the king of Aram, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, went up to Jerusalem to wage war against it, but could not conquer it. When it was told to the house of David, saying, The Arameans have encamped in Ephraim, his heart and the hearts of his people shook as the trees of the forest shake before the wind. Then Yahweh said to Isaiah, Go out now to meet Ahaz, you and your son Shear-Jashub, at the end of the conduit of the upper pool to the highway of the fuller's field, and say to him, Take care and stay quiet. Have no fear and do not be faint-hearted because of these 2 stubs of smoldering firebrands, on account of the burning anger of Rezin and Aram and the son of Remaliah, because Aram with Ephraim and the son of Remaliah has counseled evil against you, saying, Let us go up against Judah and terrorize it, and make for ourselves a breach in its walls, and set up the son of Tabeel as king in the midst of it. Thus says Lord Yahweh, It shall not stand, nor shall it happen. For the head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin. Now within another 65 years, Ephraim will be shattered, so that it is no longer a people. And the head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is the son of Remaliah. If you do not establish your faith in Yahweh, you surely shall not be established. Then Yahweh spoke again to Ahaz, saying, Ask a sign for yourself from Yahweh your God. Make it deep as Sheol or high as heaven. But Ahaz said, I will not ask, and I will not test Yahweh. Then he said, Listen now, O house of David. Is it too slight a thing for you to try the patience of men, that you will try the patience of my God as well? Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin will be with child and bear a son, and she will call his name Emmanuel. He will eat curds and honey in order that he will know to refuse evil and choose good. For before the boy will know to refuse evil and choose good, the land whose two kings you dread will be forsaken. Yahweh will bring on you, on your people, and on your father's houses days which have never come since the day that Ephraim separated from Judah, the king of Assyria. And it will be in that day that Yahweh will whistle for the fly that is in the remotest part of the rivers of Egypt, and for the bee that is in the land of Assyria. And they will all come and rest upon the steep ravines, on the crevices of the cliffs, on all the thorn bushes, and all the watering places. In that day the Lord will shave with a razor one hired from regions beyond the river, that is, the king of Assyria, the head and the hair of the legs, and it will also remove the beard. And it will be in that day that a man may keep alive a heifer and a pair of sheep. And because of the abundance of the milk produced, he will eat curds. For everyone that is left within the land will eat curds and honey. And it will be in that day that every place where there used to be 1,000 vines, valued at 1,000 shekels of silver, will become briars and thorns. People will come there with bows and arrows, because all the land will be briars and thorns. As for all the hills which used to be cultivated with the hoe, you will not go there for fear of briars and thorns, but they will become a place for pasturing oxen and for sheep to trample. Isaiah chapter 8. Then Yahweh said to me, Take for yourself a large tablet and write on it in ordinary letters concerning Meir Shala Hashbaz. And I will take to myself faithful witnesses for testimony, Uriah the priest and Zechariah the son of Jerebekiah. Then I drew near to the prophetess, and she conceived and bore a son. Then Yahweh said to me, Call his name Meir Shalal Hashbaz. For before the boy knows how to cry out, My father or my mother, the wealth of Damascus and the spoil of Samaria will be carried away before the king of Assyria. Again, Yahweh spoke to me further, saying, Inasmuch as these people have rejected the gently flowing waters of Shiloh, and rejoice in Rezin and the son of Remaliah. Now therefore, behold, the Lord is about to bring on them the mighty and abundant waters of the river, the king of Assyria and all his glory, and it will rise up over all its channels and go over all its banks. Then it will sweep on into Judah. It will overflow and pass through. It will reach even to the neck, and the spread of its wings will fill the breadth of your land, O Emmanuel. Be broken, O peoples, and be shattered, and give ear, all remote places of the earth. Gird yourselves, yet be shattered. Gird yourselves, yet be shattered. Devise counsel, but it will be thwarted. Speak a word, but it will not stand. For God is with us. For thus Yahweh spoke to me with a strong hand and disciplined me not to walk in the way of this people, saying, You are not to say, It is a conspiracy. In regard to all this people, call a conspiracy. And you are not to fear what they fear, and you shall not tremble. It is Yahweh of hosts whom you should regard as holy, and he shall be your fear, and he shall be your cause of trembling. Then he shall become a sanctuary, but to both the houses of Israel a stone to strike, and a rock to stumble over, and a snare and a trap for the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And many will stumble over them. Then they will fall and be broken. They will even be snared and caught. Bind up the testimonies, seal the law among my disciples, and I will wait for Yahweh, who is hiding his face from the house of Jacob, and I will hope for him. Behold, I and the children whom Yahweh has given me are for signs and wonders in Israel, from Yahweh of hosts, who dwells on Mount Zion. Now, when they say to you, Inquire of the mediums and the spiritists who whisper and mutter, should not a people inquire of their God? Should they inquire of the dead on behalf of the living? To the law and to the testimony. If they do not speak according to this word, it is because they have no dawn. And they will pass through the land hard pressed and hungry. And it will be that when they are hungry, they will be angry and curse their king and their God as they face upward. Then they will look to the earth and behold distress and darkness, the gloom of anguish, and they will be banished into thick darkness. That's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text this morning. Now we'll move on to reading from Daily Doctrine. Day 190, Glorification. Those whom God foreknew, he also predestined. Those he predestined, he also called. Those whom he called, he also justified. And those whom he justified, he also glorified. Romans chapter 8, verses 29 and 30. Glorification is the completion of sanctification, the fruit of justification, and the enjoyment of adoption. Like the rest of the Ordo Salutis, glorification is in and with Christ. Romans chapter 8, verse 17. Glorification does not mean absorption into the divine, but it does mean the perfection in heaven we have not enjoyed here on earth. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23. We are not going back to the beginning of things, nor continuing in a cycle of reincarnation. There is a telos to human existence, and it ends for the Christian with a fuller humanity than we have had before, as we are renewed in the image of the God-man, Jesus Christ. Biblically, we can think of glorification in several different and complementary ways. Romans chapter 8 refers to our final glorification as the revealing of the sons of God. Verse 19. Creation waits for this revelation with eager longing, knowing that only then will it be set free from bondage to corruption and obtain the glory of the children of God. Romans chapter 8, verse 21. Notice that creation is said to be caught up in our glory, not the other way around. We are the headline. The restoration of the cosmos is below the fold. Galatians chapter 21, verses 1 through 8 provides another glimpse of glorification. When all things are made new, our lives will finally be free from three realities. We will be without suffering, no more tears, no more death, no more pain. We will be without sin. All will be holy in the heavenly city, and we will be without separation. God will dwell with us, and we will be his people. Theologically, we can say that glorification makes us physically, morally, and conceptually perfect. Physically, we will experience the redemption of our bodies. Romans chapter 8, verse 23, as we are raised in glory and in power. 1 Corinthians 15, verses 43 and 44. Morally, we will be unalterably fixed in a state of holiness so that we might properly inhabit a new heavens and a new earth in which righteousness dwells. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 13. Conceptually, we will be given a perfect and clear knowledge of God and of divine things, so that the one we now see dimly, we will then see face to face. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12. The final perfection is sometimes called the beatific vision, the ability to see God in all his blessedness. Of course, God will still be God, and we will still be his creatures. That ontological gap will not be erased. We will not penetrate into the essence of God, but we will be given a supernatural vision by perfection of intellect and consummation of will, so that we might see what no eye has seen. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. This vision will beget love because we are beholding what is most lovely. The vision will also lead to joy because joy answers to hope. And once glorified, we will then have the thing hoped for. Our joy will arise from the possession of God himself, which, as he is the supreme good, embraces all the universality and perpetuity of blessing. Or as the Belgic Confession says about the reward for the elect, The Lord will make them possess a glory such as the heart of man could never imagine. The Belgic Confession, Article 37. That's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text, also from Daily Doctrine. Beautiful readings this morning and challenging readings as we read in Isaiah, the judgment of God upon the people. We also saw that beautiful vision of God in all his holiness, his thrice holiness in Isaiah chapter 6. And the response by Isaiah was a quick and acknowledgement of his worthlessness, his sin. When you stand before a holy and righteous God, no one stands with their chest stuck out and their head high and proud. You cry out, I'm unclean. I am unclean. I'm a man of unclean lips among a people of unclean lips. And then we read about our glorification, the final step in the Ordo Salutis, as our justification leads to our sanctification, which leads eventually to our glorification. And what a wonderful day that will be when the separation from God is removed, when we will see him face to face, and when sin will be no more, and there will be no sorrow or pain or tears. It's a beautiful day that we all long for. Are you looking for that day? Have a blessed day. Soli Deo Gloria.